this reminded me of the TV theme because you made me think now. I was thinking of like favorite title cards for production companies and stuff. Because I think whatever one, I don't remember what any they are. I don't have a good memory of it. Whatever the one is where the guy would shoot the arrow through like 1 million targets.
I was just thinking about that.
Is
it Atlas?
I can't remember what it is. That's obviously that's Odysseus when he right before the in the Armand Asante one, the miniseries, he's all like in rags because he comes back as like a hobo basically and then he kills all the suitors that are trying to get with his wife. This is like from the Odyssey, and so he shoots the arrow through all the heads of all the axes, the handles. Sure, and that's what that's showing. Anyway, thank you.
It looks cool as hell.
Yeah. I'll say this: I'm going to lose my mind until I figure out which one that is. Now.
Yeah,
here's a question: what are your Google search terms to try to find what this is?
I searched Arrow Film Company. Okay, I figured out what it was.
Yeah.
What is it?
We were discussing last week.
I believe
people's Googling styles.
Yeah, I believe it's TSG Entertainment.
Yeah, that sounds right to me. Yeah.
That thing got me amped up.
It's a depiction of a man with a bow shooting an arrow through several axe heads.
Hell yeah.
Similar to Odysseus from Homer's Odyssey. That is the wildest part, is that it's through axe heads.
Yeah.
It's
a classic.
Yeah. I mean, some of the best ones are no longer around, and I didn't know they were called fanfares until I think I learned from you guys that that's what they were called. I never knew they had a name for those things. But
well, fanfare is technically the name for the music, and now I feel like we've gotten sloppy with it, and now we've sort of made it seem like the whole thing.
Got it. Okay.
Irresponsible.
Because it's like like you see like that New Line Cinema thing, you know, and you have an immediate like 90s. Here we go. And for me, it's Turtles 2. That's the one that I always think of when I see it. But
and then I even see 20 minutes of pizza cheese on Turtles
the beginning.
2.
The best. I mean, this is the thing. I've said this multiple times. I don't know about on here, but like the opening of Turtles 2 is just like a montage of people liking pizza in New York and just like walking around eating slices, like toasting each other. There's like a part where there's a guy that's handcuffed to 2 cops. But they're all eating. The cops are eating pizza and he's not, and he's like, "Oh, come on," you know, just like classic, like you know.
I feel like all of these like production company stingers and fanfares are ruined for me because I do a Mystery Science Theater style show called Master Pancake Theater that I've been doing for years, and we write jokes for the movie, and there are only a certain number of those, so there are like stock jokes that we have for each.
Oh, sure.
Like we have the Universal joke, and we
Look
have
at
the
this
like,
guy.
Yeah, like we have like the Paramount joke. Like there's always like this, so every time I see one of those, I just think of like the dumb like joke I've told 100 times at the beginning of the movie.
At this point, like you having to do the joke for the studio logo or the production company is like being the Eagles and being like, I guess we gotta fucking play Hotel California again. You know, it's like the one thing you kind of have to do every time.
Well, it's like we could write new ones, but it's like we see it so much, we've already figured out what the bit is. Like it's in every movie. So
right. And to a certain degree, it's a slippery slope to write a new one, even for just one company once, because then the expectation is, they're going to write a new one every time.
Right.
Yeah.
Then people get mad if you do it over again, but then also some people are like, you didn't do the joke, my favorite joke that I love, that I come to see you for, and it's like, all right.
I also love the charm, like the old school charm of the MGM, where it's like, it's almost like a king entertaining himself in a court. Where so long ago that they were just like, we were able to film a lion, and everyone was like, my God, like, you know, like it was like a declaration of wealth that they were like, lion, and everyone was just like, yes.
And it's like, it's not even like they got him to roar once. They got him once, and then like a little bit again. Like they kind of like
it's like one and a half roars.
Yeah. And in the back, like back when everybody was like watching a train coming toward the screen and like bailing out of the theater, like you could have showed the MGM title card and people would have been like, that's the best movie I've ever seen.
Movie, yeah.
Like this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Like firing a gun at the screen or something. Like.
The hunter in the back with an elephant gun, firing a Winchester.
It is funny to me how like I feel outside of the MGM logo, I feel like most of them aren't flexes in the same way, right? Like they're just kind of going for like a sort of classy kind of like regalness, and then when you get to like smaller. Not small, but like individuals, production companies, you know, and financing companies and shit like that. They so often are just like these very, very transparent macho flexes, you know, where it's just like, my guy's firing an arrow through axes, you know, like the Jerry Bruckheimer.
That's what I'm
one,
about.
Right, I think of so often is like a car like zooming down a road and then lightning hits a tree.
Yeah,
you know, they're all just
I just want to get away from it all, man.
Yeah.
I just need to drive.
That's another. Yeah, the Simpson Bruckheimer is like. I mean, if you're lucky, you get the Simpson one from the old days. But you know, that one is just like hell yeah.
That's
a muscle car.
one of the best ones.
It's a muscle car zooming down a rainy road, and then it zooms in on a crying wife that he just left in his house. He's like, I can't do this anymore. I got to make movies.
Well, and then also so many of them are like Greek mythology. Like Atlas, he's holding the globe. Like I feel like so many of them have warriors and shit. There's another era one I'm thinking of. Like I feel like there's one where it's less the animation and more the still image is just someone sort of in profile drawing the bow. But I feel like there's a lot of like warriors and gods.
I mean, it's like symptomatic of everyone in a like that gets to a big business level, no matter what the business is.
Right.
They start comparing themselves to like myth and war and stuff because what we do is similarly important and will live through history the same way.
I
Yeah.
think
that's why all the ancient
hedge funds
Greek
are named
stuff
like that. You know,
I was
going to
say, most of these guys are Steve Mnuchin, you know, or the
Especially
poor
now,
man's Mnuchin, you know, where it's like crazy to think about someone who looks like Steve Mnuchin sitting behind a desk and being like, so he decapitates the tiger, and then out of the tiger's neck.
Producer of Oscar-winning film Suicide Squad, the first one, the original.
God, I mean, this is one of those things.
There it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I was just wondering if there, you know, when moving pictures first debuted, if they were like, it'd be so funny if there was some sort of Twitter thing back then where they were reacting the same way that we do to like deep fakes, where it's like some like horrific grainy footage of like a woman dancing, and they're like, no, how do you know what's real anymore? This is anyone can make anything.
It's like I used to have to spin the Nickelodeon to like be able for this to be moving, and now it's moving on its own. I can't. No, thank you.
Yeah,
I had to look in the weird viewfinder thing in the corner of the bar that I put a nickel in order to see these. Now it's big. What's happening?
It is funny that like Netflix just added the speed options where you can slow down or speed up how you watch the shit, and I, as like a purist, had that thing where it's just like, fuck you, like watch it at the speed. The timing's incredible here. But like watch it at the speed that the filmmakers intended, you peon, you know?
That seems fair. I think that one is
I think it's
sure.
subtitles on everything, and that. But I think if someone was like, don't watch it at double speed.
I put subtitles in everything as well.
I do too.
And I stand behind the watch it at the speed intended thing. But it also is, like you point out, Patrick, like the Nickelodeon people could watch it at whatever speed they wanted to, right?
Just crank
like
it.
It's literally just what speed do you want to crank it at? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I got like a bunch
somewhere to be.
I got
to
work
contract polio later.
Right. I'm going to crank this one at 2x, 1.5.
I got to finish this before my laundry finishes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I need to go tend to my 8 children, 2 of whom will see adulthood. So
imagine the pure hand-eye coordination needed by in olden times to do like dirty zoetropes and dirty Nickelodeons. Just the double crank. That's just impressive.
Man.
That's where cranking that came from. No, I don't think
that'd be great
Cranking
if just invent that cranking it as actually comes from the old dirty Nickelodeons of times
that is a good point. It's sort of like
oh my god,
boy.
Good grief.
Oh, Lord.
Shelby has everything.
Shelby, can I ask, about 30 seconds ago you started playing something and stopped it immediately. I'm curious what it was going to be.
It was a speech by Hitler. It's no.
We all have a veto button where we get to mute Shelby.
Abort.